All right, what's going on, Bulls Nation? So we got some news today that the Bulls extended Billy Donovan for the foreseeable future, and we're going to talk about that move right after this intro.
Get the lowdown on one of the most iconic basketball teams in the world. You're listening to Chicago Bulls Nation.
All right, Bulls Nation, I am as puzzled as most of you are on why this happened. I mean, why do you have to extend Billy Donovan now? It's funny because I just made a video about what's gonna happen if Tom Thibodeau, former coach of the Chicago Bulls, coach this team. Would we yield better results? And most of you said yes. Although there's only like a handful of views on that, but there's people who commented who was just like, yeah, of course, he's gonna make them play defense. Because let's be honest, New York Knicks, when Thibs took over, and those guys were not known to be defensive players, but he has a scheme and his scheme works. The problem with Thibs here with the Bulls is that he never had any offensive threats outside of Derrick Rose. Carlos Boozer was supposed to be that guy, but he never was. So he got a bunch of defensive-minded guys like Lou and Butler at the time. He wasn't an offensive threat. Joakim, they are all defensive-minded players with Derrick Rose. And when Derrick Rose went down, our defense was still pretty solid, but the problem is we could not score. The problem nowadays is different. We could score. We can't defend anyone. That brings me to the point of Billy Donovan. So that's why I posed that question. I'm not saying Billy Donovan is a horrible coach. He's not. He's a good coach. He's a great coach, as a matter of fact. He might not be the coach for the Bulls, though, because of the personnels that we do have. And it's going to be hard to move this personnel. We constructed this to win kind of now. We have an aging DeMar, a free agent in the making in Vooch. No draft capital this year. I guess next year it's going to be for San Antonio for DeMar. But it is going to be tough moving forward. And Billy is a good coach for a rebuilding team. He'll put you on the right track. Team with no expectations. But right now the Bulls are in a win now mode. We traded our assets basically to contend right now. Unless this front office is trying to tear this one down and start from the scratch, then I get it, But so far, I don't know the details of the extension. The hope was, and this is going to be a tough one because we know how cheap the Bulls ownership is. They don't like spending money. So if you extend Billy and nothing is happening, he's most likely not going to get fired. Meaning the roster has to adjust to the coach instead of the coach having to adjust with his roster. And that is a bad predicament that we're in. I'm starting to doubt what our front office is doing. We are all happy when we got this front office, but I'm going to make a separate video for that. And I understand he was signed this season, like the beginning of the season before this all started. But we all know what transpired now, right? We're 9-11, currently out of the play-in tournament. We're not even in the playoffs, much more so play-in tournament. And what are we going to say? Because we are missing Lonzo Ball? Is that really our calling card now? We are 9-11 because we are missing our starting point guard, while we have quote-unquote 3 all-stars. Those 3 all-stars cannot lift this team to be somewhere competitive, that we are banking on a guy who had 2 surgeries on his knee. And for the most part regarded as a bust before his career. Now, I'm not putting this all on Lonzo. It shouldn't be. The players are here. It's on Zach. It's on DeMar. It's also on the coach, though. For the most part, Billy Donovan is working with a good roster. For the most part. I'm going to say it right now. Most of us agreed, if Thibs was coaching this team, we'd be better off defensively. Way better defensively. Because we've seen DeMar can defend if he wants to. The problem is he doesn't want to all the time. And maybe that's on DeMar, and maybe that's on the coach as well. Maybe he's not demanding DeMar to be 100% on defense all the time, or even 70% on defense all the time. Maybe he's not demanding that from Zach. Maybe he is, but it's not hard enough. But tying yourself up in a corner like the Bulls did by signing Billy Donovan to an extension, is a horrible move by our front office, not giving yourself any wiggle room, not giving yourself any options down the line. I am puzzled, I'm confused, and to be quite honest, I'm starting to have doubts with this front office. You know, the moves that they made, it's easy to praise them, to be honest with you, when you're coming from hell. And we came from hell, being in the Garpax situation. That was bad. So any glimmer of hope was good. But looking back at it now, I know it's hindsight is always 2020. But if you look at the moves, we pretty much gave away, some of our guys for nothing, for absolutely nothing. We basically gave away our center, which at the time, who I forgot his name, Daniel Gafford, for Troy Brown Jr., who's not even with a team anymore. Basically, that Wendell Carter trade. Not worried about Wendell Carter, but Franz Wagner. Those teams are a bit confusing. Those moves, getting Vooch at the time was a surprising move, a good move. But the consecutive moves right after that is just, I don't know, like not making any moves right now. It's not making any signing Zach to a max extension, knowing that he just had a surgery. Now we're paying the price for that, knowing that DeMar's peak is just around the corner. So, but let me know in the comments how you feel about this news. Are you okay with it? Are you surprised as me? Are you not okay with it? Would you rather have the flexibility or a new coach for that matter? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you were a Bulls fan. I would really appreciate it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.